Now let's take a look at dividing complex numbers. So we still have the imaginary unit I, which is the square root of negative 1. The significance of I is that I squared is negative 1. So in order to do a division, here's a division. On the top we have a real number and we're dividing it by a non-real complex number. So to do this division, what we do anytime you're doing division by a non-real complex number, what you really want to do is you want to multiply the top and the bottom of that fraction by the complex conjugate. So you multiply the bottom by 3 minus 2i and also the top. 3 minus 2i. The top I'm not going to multiply out quite yet. I'm just going to leave it as 26 times 3 minus 2i. Reason being, the denominator is going to turn into just a real number, and if I have any common factors in these real numbers, I can cancel them. So the denominators is going to be, when you multiply these conjugates, you get 9. The middle terms will cancel. It will be negative 6i and positive 6i, so they'll cancel. And then last times last will give me minus 4i squared. But if you remember, I squared is actually negative 1, so this is 9 minus 4 times negative 1, and 4 minus 21, or 4 minus, sorry, 9 minus negative 4 is actually 9 plus 4. 9 plus 4, 13. And that's the reason why I didn't multiply right away, because this is 26 times 3 minus 2i over 13, and there is a common factor that I can cancel. 13 goes into itself once, but into 26 twice, making the final answer 2 times 3 minus 2i. And there you go. You can leave it like that. You can distribute and write it as 6 minus 4i if you'd like. Either way, it doesn't matter. Oh, actually, sometimes it does matter. If they tell you to write it in the form a plus bi, then you actually do have to distribute and leave this as 6 minus 4i. So in the case where you're asked to leave it in this form, you do actually have to do that distribution. Alright, here's another one. This one, once again, we're going to multiply the top and bottom by the complex conjugate. So we get negative 8 plus 5i, and since we're dividing by 2 minus 4i, that's the one whose complex conjugate we're going to multiply by, the one in the denominator. So we're multiplying the top and bottom by 2 plus 4i. 2 plus 4i. So I'm just going to FOIL all this out. Let me see. On top, I get negative 16. That's going to be minus 32i. This is going to be plus 10i. And last times last is going to be plus 20i squared. The bottom, when you multiply it out, the middle terms will cancel, but this gives you 4, and then minus 16i squared. These I squareds will change the signs of these terms. So the 20i squared will turn into minus 20, and the negative 16i squared will change into plus 16. So we will get negative 16 minus 32i plus 10i minus 20 over 4 plus 16. Then it's just a matter of combining like terms. We have like terms, let me see, on top, negative 16 and negative 20, which makes negative 36. Also, negative 32 and positive 10i makes negative 22i. And that's divided by 4 plus 16, which is 20. And of course, once again, just like before, if they want you to write it in the form a plus bi, then you actually just split this up into negative 36 over 20 minus 22 over 20I, which both of those can simplify. Let me see what goes in. 4 goes into 36 and 20. 4 goes into 36 9 times. 4 goes into 20 5 times. And then 2 goes into 22 and 20. 2 goes into 22 11 times and into 20 10 times. So that's the final answer. Negative 9 over 5 minus 11 over 10I.